What's up, everybody? This is Dominic DeAngelo of OneTrueSportTV.com. I'm happy to have with me today Big Bill. He's getting set tonight to go with AEW Grand Slam at Arthur Ashe Stadium, and he's going to be in a trios match with the Learning Tree going up against the Conglomeration. Bill, thanks for joining me, dude.
Oh, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
Wanted to talk about first right off the bat. You have a nephew that's doing something Baby of the Year is being nominated for. I want you to talk about that a little bit. Give us a little intel on your nephew and all the details behind that.
Yeah, so my nephew, he was born at 28 weeks, premature, back in November. There was an accident. My sister had to be rushed to the hospital, and they had to perform emergency surgery and to an emergency C-section to get him out. And then while they were doing that, they found some issues with my sister that also needed to be fixed. So it was a long, been a long few months, and obviously him being born premature and after the accident, there's some complications. So he was in the NICU for almost 3 months, and I don't know if you know anybody that's been in the NICU or parents that have had to
I
deal with
have.
that. Okay,
I was
yeah,
born premature as well, so
okay. So yeah, it's a very nerve-wracking process. There's lots of ups and downs, and right now, or he's home right now, and everybody's doing good. My sister is recovering, and but like I said, there's some complications with him, so it's seems like there's something every day, every week. So just dealing with that, and yeah, he was nominated for this. Um, so put it out there to the wrestling community, because the wrestling community is, no matter what side you're on or who you love, who you hate, it's all, the wrestling community always comes together for something like this. So put it out there, and a lot of people have responded. So I'm really, really appreciative of that.
absolutely. So how do they get to do this and nominate him for? Because it's a good housekeeping thing, correct?
Yeah. It's for good housekeeping. I don't even know how he was nominated. My sister just one day sent me the link, and basically said he's been nominated. And I never really got any background on how this process happened, but I guess someone maybe from the hospital gave word, and word got passed around. But yeah, so um, he's up for this. He's up for this award, and yeah, so we've been voting and have a lot of people voting, and obviously put it out there. The wrestling community, people in the wrestling community are voting and donating, and it's been really, really great. Great response. My
Absolutely.
sister is my sister is very, very happy.
I could imagine. Yeah, I see he's at the top of the rankings too. I put my vote in
Yeah,
already. Mickey texted the manager, your manager texted me, and I was like, "Oh, I already voted." So,
yeah. And my sister texted me this morning to thank Chris. I had no idea what the hell she was talking about. And she said that he donated, Chris Jericho donated quite a bit. So yeah, really happy about that. So I
that's
got to thank
awesome.
him when I see him at the stadium later.
Yeah, no doubt. Well,
Yeah,
the neat thing about it is like we're getting a new kind of version of you, and it's like we've seen your humor side before, obviously in the past and things like.
yeah.
But like being in this kind of like cool, and you're really catching on with the crowd and stuff like that. What have you kind of learned working with Jericho hands on, kind of like this in a certain way?
Man, I think the biggest thing for me is getting my confidence up. It's pro wrestling is interesting. Tag titles, and then right at the top, and then you lose the tag titles, and you're kind of wondering where you fit in. So doing this with Jericho, the number one thing, it got my confidence up. Just from working with him, talking to him, knowing my instincts are good, knowing that I'm good. Because sometimes confidence gets rattled. But yeah, working with Chris and knowing to play it straight is his biggest message usually, which is, and I agree with it.
Yeah.
It's no matter how goofy things may seem, no matter how silly, no matter how much you think someone might look at that and be like, "Oh, that is so stupid." As long as you play it straight, you believe it, and you believe it's real. It's going to work, and I feel like that's what we've been doing. And working with Chris in WWE was great. A lot of funny segments we did. We did the Santa Claus segment. I don't know if you remember that, but that's way back. And working with him, this is my bread and butter. I like doing funny stuff, but the thing with a character like that is, yeah, you can be funny, but when things get real, you got to lock in. I think we're also very good at that.
Yeah, you that's the neat thing about it. It's a good balance because Jericho has such credibility in what he's done in the past and everything like that. And you with your size and physical presence and body language and everything like that, you guys convey legitimacy. So in the same
Yeah, and then we bring in BK, who
Yeah,
just he's got a look about him, man. He's just a mean man, bro.
right?
And he really beats the hell out of people. He's just a vicious dude. So he also adds to it because uh like yeah, you Chris, me, but you kind of also don't want to mess with that guy because
No.
he's something not right with that guy. So I think it all comes together perfectly.
Absolutely. The neat thing about it too is you guys play your roles really well and it complements one another. Like,
Yeah.
you're able to add the physical presence, but then like even just Brian Keith with his like little quip-ins there, it's just like adds
Oh
another
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
people.
It's so good, so good. Yeah, t-shirt
Yeah.
material. He's got all these things he says that could all be t-shirts. So yeah,
Right.
he's killing it. Yeah.
You've been a part of big shows in New York City before. Obviously, you were in Madison Square Garden and things like that. How does this one hit differently for you, being an Arthur Ashe and Grand Slam and all that?
Well, this is Queens, baby. This is my hometown, Queens. I grew up about 10 minutes from here. If I'm looking over at the state, there's the airport and the stadium. I used to play pitch and putt over here with my buddies every summer. Like we'd go twice a week every summer. And they'll be at the show tonight, family and friends. But being in Queens, it's a little bit different. Anywhere else, Barclays Center is Brooklyn. It feels like home. New York City feels like home. Even across the river at Jersey and even out on Nassau and Long Island feels like home. But this really feels like home. Queens, New York. This is where I grew up, right down the road here, like 10 minutes. Like I said, this feels like a hometown show. Not that the other ones don't feel as much, but this really feels like my people will be there tonight.
Your people are gonna be there. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Queens. I've only been to New York a couple of times, but I loved Queens when I got to go there. I was at the Melrose Ballroom, and I loved the
Oh
neighborhood.
yeah, yeah.
hmm
Yeah,
So
Queens is awesome. It's sort of, I think it's a little underrated. People always Manhattan's obviously the cash cow. That's the big one, and then
right.
people always talk about Brooklyn, but I don't think Queens gets enough of its credit. So yeah, Queens is a great place.
Well, you almost found a second hometown, I would say, in at Wembley Stadium. The crowd was really into you, man. And
Yeah.
talk about getting that kind of reaction. Did it catch you off guard, or were you like, "Holy smokes, this is pretty awesome"?
Yeah, it started in Cardiff, at the collision. Started in Cardiff, Wales. It did catch me off guard. I went into the match as a heel, and but it felt good. It feels those fans, especially the UK fans, they're usually ahead of the game.
Yeah,
I would say they're usually ahead of the game. Some might say music also, but I feel like they see me and they appreciate the body of work. They appreciate, everything I've been through in my personal life, obviously coming back from where I've come from, everything that's gone on with me. But I feel like they really appreciate the body of work, you know, how long I've been doing this, the equity that I have with them from NXT all the way through now. And it was a really good feeling, man. As much as I tried to flip them, they just would not flip in Cardiff. And it was a good feeling. I felt really appreciated. I felt like a lot of my hard work coming back into wrestling and coming back from addiction. I feel like that night it felt like everything paid off. It was like the people see it, the people are seeing it, and I'm getting the credit that I feel like you know I deserve. And then also that transferred into Wembley Stadium, also at All In. So yeah, that was a good night for me. And I really appreciate the fans in the UK and it's so far from what I've seen, it carries over to the US too.
you're 5 years sober. Is that correct?
Almost, yes.
Almost 5 years.
Yeah.
It's so
So
great, man.
technically four, I should say four.
Well,
Technically four.
you're
Yeah.
getting there, though. You're getting there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Talk about kind of not just like what you kind of learned about yourself going through this process, but what have you kind of learned more about like getting back into wrestling and finding out, well, what kind of perspective is that kind of painted for you and what you want to do with your future and everything like that when it comes to all of that?
Yeah, I think recovery really helped me in wrestling. In recovery, you go in and you have a lot of doubts and you think that you're not like these other people and you don't belong and you got it all figured out. And the lessons that I learned in recovery is kind of these people know better than you. They've been there, they've done it. put your head down, listen to what you're told, and work your ass off every single day. So I feel like coming back into wrestling, I had to do the same thing, which is, you know, put my head down, work my ass off, and do what's expected of me. I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna hold any grudges for anything said or done, or I should be here, or this person shouldn't be there, and I should. Everything works out for a reason. Just put your head down and do exactly what's expected of you, and it'll pay off in the long run. I feel like, especially now with Cardiff and the learning tree and what happened in the UK, everything kind of is, everything's coming to fruition of what I believed would happen when I came back to wrestling. If I did what was expected of me in recovery. So I think it transferred very well for me.
And I'm very happy for you too, because it's got to be that rewarding feeling where it's just like you've hit bottom, like you know what bottom is like, and then to kind of get back and know the journey that you've taken, it kind of, and then the reception that you get, it's also reaffirming to that. But it's just rewarding to see like, okay, I've made this progress, and people are capable of doing that. And I think when you know you're capable of doing that on your own too, it's very rewarding, I think, as well. So
Yeah, and I think yeah, I I don't like to think of myself. People, send me messages on Instagram and stuff and say you've inspired me or you're an inspiration. I hate. I don't know. I hate. I don't. I don't. I have. I don't. I don't. I just. I try to set an example, and I think I'm doing that. It's people saw where I came from. People saw how bad it got for me. The seizure in House of Hardcore in Philadelphia. How quickly I got out of shape. How poorly I looked. I looked unhealthy. Things were not going well with me. And for me to be back where I'm at now in the shape I'm in, looking how I look, doing what I'm doing, performing how I perform, and most of all, just being happy, work aside, just living a happy life after where I came from. I think people see that and they say, man, if he can do that, I can do that. So I hope that that's an example that I'm setting for people.
100%, man. 100%.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild to kind of think too, oh man, I'm reaching out, and like a lot of people are, it is kind of like, oh my God, I don't like that feeling, but it's also nice to have and to know that you're actually helping people. So that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
thing. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
how's it been too, working with DDP and everything like that? He's just obviously such a positive person and
Yeah.
everything to that effect. How has he been in your process and kind of getting back physically and mentally and back in the game and all that?
Yeah. He was a big part of my, in the beginning of my recovery process, trying to get sober, getting me to the right people to get me sober. But yeah, just the positive attitude. I lived with him for maybe a few times, maybe just for a weekend or two here and there. Um, his positive attitude, living clean, accountability is a big one with him. You gotta have people hold you accountable. And then of course I met my fiance Lexi
Right.
through him, which obviously if that's not God, whatever you want to God, some sort of destiny, something like that, whatever you want to call it, if you believe in that, if that's not speaking to you, then I don't know what is. So we're getting married in December. My future wife I met through him, and dealing with him. So I like everything's happening for a reason.
Absolutely, dude. That's the neat thing about it all. It's like it's very storybook, but it's also like you've been through the process, you know what it's like, and you've had some help, but you've also recovered from all this, and it's awesome, dude. So,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll let you go with this. Obviously, you're a Yankees fan. You're also a Jets fan.
Yeah, oh
Um,
yeah.
if you could invite three athletes to go watch you tonight, who would it be? Three professional athletes,
Oh,
any time period,
any living or dead?
living or dead. Go for that. Yeah.
Oh man, damn, bro. Oh man.
Putting you on the spot. I know that.
The dead one's tough because there aren't many athletes that that have passed that I grew up with. Damn, any athletes. Man, I like A Rod. I gotta say,
Oh yeah.
I'll put A Rod up there. Um, Mike Tyson,
Heck
put
yeah.
put
Big
him up
wrestling
there.
fan.
Yeah. And then man, this is a tough question. Any athlete.
Anyone.
Um, Mike Tyson. Um, damn. I probably put I would probably put Tyson Fury up there too. Tyson Fury, when I was trying to first start getting sober, his story actually inspired me quite a bit. With his struggles and whatnot. So I would put him in there too. Tyson Fury was a big part of me trying to start getting my life on track. So yeah, I'd put him in there too. That's how you're putting me on the spot. I mean, if I had an hour to think about this, I could have nailed this better. But
It could
yeah, that
change
would be it.
too. It's always with me with athletes. It kind of changes too from time to time.
Yeah, Judge. I mean, Judge Aaron Judge. That
Yeah,
would be
right.
great too. Yeah,
56
yeah,
homers right now. You can't beat that,
yeah.
man.
That would be
Jeez,
great. Yeah,
that'd be good
yeah,
stuff. Did you do
yeah.
boxing? Have you boxed before and stuff like that?
No, a little bit when I was in high school, but
Uh-huh.
never really got into boxing that much. No, I mean, I trained a bit in high school, but never anything seriously or remotely serious. But I'm a big boxing fan. I love boxing.
I do too, man. It's good stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, cool. So, yes, guys, if you want to, I'll be sure to include the link to vote for Connor, his nephew, in the
Yes.
ICU unit, and let's get the word out about him being in good housekeeping and all that stuff. So,
Yeah, yeah. Hell yeah.
yeah, Big
I
Bill,
appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I really do. My sister appreciates it, so thank you so much.
absolutely more than happy to do it, and I'm
Yeah,
so happy for your journey too. I'll keep all you guys in my prayers and everything like that too. So,
yeah, yeah. Thank
absolutely,
you so much, man. I appreciate
you're
it.
welcome, guys. Well, all right, we'll see you next time here on OneTrueSportTV.com.